Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at Apex 2020 and I'm joined by Carlos from Nordson Select. Carlos, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure to chat. Good to see you again. When we look at the selective solder area, it's a relative newish technology. So there's lots of development, lots new happening. What are you seeing in terms of the technical demands of selective solder, and what are you bringing to market?
So increasingly what you see in the market is customers demanding that a lot of the variables that are traditionally haven't been closed loop are becoming closed loop. Sort of like, for example, the wave height control, the health of a nozzle, that kind of thing. And we've been working as well as our competitors on getting all of that, but that's a relatively new demand, and as the technology matures, increasingly so.
Okay. And what new technologies or what new developments have you brought specifically to the show this week?
Right. So this year we have two innovations in a sense. One is an entry-level machine that is now conveyorized. We've been offering it in a batch mode, but now it's conveyorized, very compact, all-in-one, fully featured, and that's our Tier 3 entry. The second one is significant improvement on our sort of flowing technology close to the nozzle. We've been able to reduce draws by about a factor of 10 on some of our pots, eliminate solder balls coming out of the pot altogether, and then reducing also the draws dust that kind of tends to billow out of the pot. It's all contained now through a very innovative approach that we took. So that's going to be really good for our customers.
Yeah, and that'll be across the whole product range, I guess.
Correct, yes. Yeah. We'll be able to share nozzles across both of the platforms that we have.
Yeah, and just to go back to the entry-level system for the Tier 3s, that's for companies that are very high mix, have got very variable workloads, they're not quite the mom and pop shops, but kind of the next tier up, I guess, and this gives them an opportunity to add selective solder to their toolkit, I guess.
Yes, and to automate some of it, because we offered already that form factor, but it was only in a batch load. And when you come into a customer, you can sell up from that, or if that's the right machine for them, then it works, right?
Yeah. And when you look at those, the part of the reason for having it automated, is that because people are looking for more integrated and connected solutions through their factory, and they want every part of the process to be smart and connectable?
Sure, and they're looking at increasing productivity, right, and reducing human error in handling and so on. Right? Loading the board can by hand. Somebody can do it backwards. I mean, there's a lot of flaws that can happen. Right?
So it eradicates that. And lastly, you've got some new technology coming out later this year, I believe. You're working on some new developments. What's the timing look like?
We haven't stopped innovating. We have a brand new platform coming out around the middle of the year, and it's a platform. It's really targeted for high volume manufacturing, but the value proposition, which will be very attractive to many customers that are high volume, is that it can produce the same amount of work in about a third of the space of a current big unit, a 6-pot unit. So that's significant for many people. We've seen a lot of interest from people that just cannot fit in their buildings, and they can replace this for their earlier machines, get the capacity without needing any more floor space.
Yeah, and I think that's really significant, and I like the fact that you're almost starting that development process with a value proposition in mind, an ROI in mind at the end, and I think that really resonates with customers these days. Yeah. Carlos, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure to chat. Look forward to talking to you perhaps in the middle of the year and finding out how the new developments are going.
My pleasure.